Alrighty, what is going on, guys? What is poppin'? So today I'm just gonna go ahead and kind of break down an old match of mine that I had about a year and a half ago. And so this is a match that I had with Victor Bora from Breaking Point Jiu Jitsu. And so this was at the Subspectrum Pro Feature Card, August 2020. And I remember being like super excited to face Victor just to test my skills against somebody of his caliber. And it ended up being a really good match. So I'm going to go ahead and break this down today for you guys. I've been seeing a lot of jiu-jitsu competitors making this pretty popular on their channels, where they just kind of break down, you know, what they were thinking and what techniques they were using during their match. So I know I'm not a world champion, at least not yet, but just looking to have some fun. So let's check it out. So starting on the feet here, we bump hands. And so I'm looking for a lapel grip. Pummeling here. All right, and so here, Victor was able to get a right hand grip on my lapel. And I just mirror it with my left hand gripping his gi right above his right elbow. And now with my right hand, I'm just pummeling and I'm looking for either his lapel on the opposite side or that sleeve grip. And so here I'm able to get a hold of that sleeve grip for a split second. And I actually use this to go for a sauce foot sweep here, where I step to Victor's right side. And now I look to block his far foot with my right foot and look to hit him with the foot sweep. And he was able to keep his balance pretty well there. So now we're back to our starting grips. I still have the grip above his elbow. Victor goes for an ankle pick right there. I was able to sprawl my hips back. And so now I was able to get a grip with my right hand on his lapel. And so again, I used this to go for the sauce foot sweep. And I was able to trip him up a little bit more the second time, but still not able to get him to the mat. So back to the feet here, pummeling. And I get another grip on his lapel and I use it to look for a Tominagi. And Victor felt it and he sat his hips back, so it ended up just me pulling guard. All right. And so now here, I could feel Victor really exploding and really looking for the pass. So pretty much what I did here was I knew that he wanted the pass really bad, so I was going to let him kind of, burn his tank a little bit and try and get the pass, but I just wanted to keep my hips underneath of him, and I'm looking for the inside position with my feet. So here I have a double grip, one on his elbow and one on his lapel. And now essentially I'm just swiveling my hips back and forth and following him with my feet, constantly battling for the inside position with my feet. So my left hand's got that grip on his elbow, and I'm also switching with my right hand either to his ankle or to his lapel. I was kind of going back and forth with my right hand grip. And so as you can see here, my feet are inside. So Victor's putting a lot of pressure, but I'm still able to pummel my feet inside. And this is what's allowing me to keep Victor at bay and not letting him get past the guard. So now I could feel him start to settle down a little bit. So I start, looking for, I think I'm looking for a spider guard here. Butterfly hooks. All right, he goes again. He exploded once more to try to get past the guard. And so again, I have that grip on his lapel. Here, Victor goes for a flying armbar, which was pretty awesome. Like, this definitely caught me off guard. I was not expecting him to jump for the armbar, but actually a pretty cool attack considering the trouble he was having getting past the guard. And so I kind of just flow up on top with the momentum, and I was able to pull my elbow out and clear the armbar. All right, so now I end up on top looking to pass, and we get caught kind of in this Just this knee up position here. Almost like a headquarters, but not quite. And so here, Victor was able to get this outside hook guard. And I remember at the time, it was a little bit hard to deal with because I could feel he had a really good hook with that foot. And I like to play this position if people are looking for the hook guard because I can keep my hips back and kind of keep my balance well. And so I'm looking for different grips on his lapel, trying to address these hooks that he's got underneath of my legs, which he had a pretty good bind on. And I could feel here that Victor had a pretty good guard. His grips and everything felt really strong. And so I'm really just kind of moving forward with high caution here just because I knew the level that Victor was on, and I just didn't want to make any mistakes and get caught in something stupid. So I'm really taking my time here, feeling his grips, looking for my own counter grips, and trying to keep my balance because I believe he was trying to sweep me. And so here I pop my hips up for a split second. He's got a really good grip on my lapel here. And so here, Victor goes for a sweep. Spider guard. So now I posture up a little bit more, looking to drive my hips forward, my knee into his hook to try to break the hook. And there, Victor kind of just put everything into it, and he really yanked on my lapel, and he used his outside hook to sweep out my bottom leg. And he was able to hit the sweep for a split second, but I was able to catch my balance and come back to my seated butterfly guard. And so here they reset us to save the TV. All right, and at this point in the match, I could feel a difference in Victor's energy level. It wasn't that much, but you have to get used to when you're competing, recognizing these little signs of your opponent fatiguing or mentally just kind of going down a notch. And this was at the point in the match where I really felt like Victor had tried a lot of his good things, and now maybe he was a little bit tired, and this was a good time for me to start to pick up the pace. So I remember here I start to pick up the pace a little bit. And so this is one of my favorite back takes to use from the seated or butterfly guard. I used a lapel grip to snap Victor down, and I immediately throw my arm up for this guillotine position. And so now I just use the front headlock with the overhook to attack the neck, and now I just sprawl my legs out and I circle to the back. And so immediately I was able to get a grip on his lapel, and I drop my right knee up, blocking his elbow, and I swing my left hip back, and I pull Victor into this back take. And so I had a decent grip on his lapel here, and immediately I begin looking for either a bow and arrow choke or a sliding collar. And so I'm attacking the neck. I don't have both hooks in quite yet. So Victor goes to scramble. Here we go. I follow. I had a really tight backpack grip here, which was allowing me to follow Victor in this motion. Even though he was moving pretty fast, as long as I was able to keep my head position on the other side of his head with that backpack grip, that's what enabled me to follow him. And so now, using my head as a post, looking to get my left hook inside, wrist control there for a second. All right, so I flip him back over. Victor really was trying to fight this back take pretty hard. All right, and so I remember Victor was doing a really good job at defending this sliding collar choke. He was pulling on my elbow, hand fighting really, really well. So Victor was making it really hard to get this choke, and usually this is one of my best positions in the gi, and Victor did a really good job of shutting down these attacks. And so still on the back, just looking to keep my back position, body triangle here. I really like the body triangle a lot. And so now I switch to this wrist control here. All right, and now I'm kind of going back and forth between the over the shoulder grip and the inside lapel grip. And so now I'm focused on, just keeping my position, staying on the back, and kind of just seeing what Victor is giving me. I'm looking to throw my left hook in right here. He kind of stuffed it. So here I tried to pull him upwards to throw my hooks inside. Like, there's a cool back take where if you're able to lift your opponent's upper body off the mat, sometimes you can throw your hooks in. But Victor kept his elbows really tight, and I wasn't able to get the hooks in. So now I'm still looking, still seeing what he's giving me. And so here there's 30 seconds left on the clock. So I knew that if I was going to get an attack off, I had to do something quick. So here I throw my right arm over his shoulder, and now I use my left hand here on his lapel, and I'm using my left hand to open his lapel as I roll my right shoulder into the back of his head, and I kind of use everything simultaneously to flip him over and pull him into my back take. So I really used all my body weight there to get him over. And so now I have this wrist control here, and what I'm looking to do is free my bottom hook, and here you can see me pulling it out. So I used my 2-on-1 grip on Victor's wrist to push him up onto his side here. So that way I could yank and withdraw my right foot. So that way I could move from the back mount to start transitioning to this arm bar. So now I throw my hook over his waist, and I switch my Kimura grip, and I throw my forearm over his face so that way I can get my leg over. And so now there's 20 seconds left on the clock, and I actually remember Victor's coach, Nate, was actually helping me because he was giving me a countdown of how many seconds there was left in the match. And it actually was pretty cool. So 10 seconds here. And so here, I'm moving my left foot through the grip of Victor's arms, because there's a lot of scenarios where if the guy comes to sit up for an armbar defense and I have my foot through his cross grip like this, I can very easily transition to a triangle choke as well. But Victor, I believe, felt this, and he decided to stay flat and just look to escape the armbar. So I just kept my legs heavy, and now I'm just using both of my hands and attacking his shoulder. So I'm leaning my body weight to my right side, and this is putting a lot of pressure on his neck and his shoulder. So I kind of attack his shoulder to break that grip. And now I swing my body back straight, and now pretty much I put everything into this armbar. I knew that there was only a couple of seconds left on the clock, and so I really put everything into this armbar for the couple seconds that we had it there. So I'll show you guys that one more time. So from the back mount, all right, he's moving a lot right here, so I have to be very heavy with my legs just to make sure that I can stay on top and really keep him on his back, especially that right leg over his face. So now I sneak my inside foot through, break the grip, attacking his shoulder. Now I straighten out and get the arm lock. And I believe there was about 2 seconds left on the clock here. But yeah, guys, this was one of my favorite matches that I ever did. Victor was a great opponent. Very happy to have been able to test my skills against him at the time. And yeah, Subspectrum's a great event. If you guys have never checked out Subspectrum, go ahead and check out their YouTube channel. And yeah, thanks for tuning in, guys. Appreciate the love, and I will see you guys all next time. Os.